Are you voting for the first time? Living in the nation's political capital but avoiding thinking about politics? Overwhelmed by the bureaucracy of election day? Or do you just want a democracy sausage?
Here's Waroni's guide for what to do when Australia goes to the polls on May 21st.
There are a couple of things you'll need to do to prepare for election day. First, check your registration details. You can check if you're registered at a particular address on the Australian Electoral Commission website by entering your full name and street name. It will tell you your federal division, which you'll vote in for the House of Representatives. If you live on campus at ANU, that's Canberra. Don't worry if you've moved and forgot to update your details. You'll still be able to vote this election at the last place you enrolled. Next up, it's important to think about who you want to vote for. You can check which candidates will be on your ballot by going to the AEC website, and start by Googling to research their policies. If you're stuck on who to vote for, you can try using the ABC Vote Compass. You answer a couple of questions and the compass tells you which major party best aligns with your views. Also, Waroni is covering the elections and interviewing candidates in Canberra. You don't have to vote on election day.
Early voting is open from May 9th to May 20th.
If you meet any of these criteria, like being outside of your electorate or working on election day, you can vote early. Because we're living in a pandemic, being around large numbers of people can be a reasonable fear for your safety, and you can vote early if you'd like to social distance.
Why won't you call an early election?
The answer is, mate, because I want to do you slowly.
If you're voting on the day, you can find your nearest polling centre here. If you're in Canberra right now, these are some of your options. If you're registered interstate and you don't have a postal vote, you can vote at many polling stations, including Old Parliament House, Australia's biggest polling place.
If you catch COVID and have to isolate in the 3 days before the election, you can vote by phone.
How to vote. You'll have to fill out 2 ballots, ordering your preferences. You'll have to fill out all of the boxes for your House of Representatives ballot paper, and at least 6 preferences above the line, or 12 below the line for your Senate ballot paper. If you're voting above the line for the Senate, you're more or less choosing the parties. If you're voting below the line for the Senate, you get to number each candidate regardless of which party they're in. You'll be electing 1 member of the House of Representatives. In the ACT, this will be for Bean, Canberra, or Fenner. These seats are all pretty safe Labor seats. The House of Representatives is where the government comes from. It's dominated by the major parties, mainly Liberal and Labor who are elected here, although there are rising numbers of independents. Since the ACT is a territory and not a state, it only elects 2 people to the Senate. The Senate uses a different, more proportional form of voting than the House of Representatives, and there are a lot more minor parties in here. You don't vote for the Prime Minister. That will be the leader of the party with the most people in the House of Representatives, unless no party has a majority and they have to form a coalition. That's the basics for this election. We'll see you at the ballot box on March 21st.